going on, gang? So this is something new that we're starting this week. It's going to be an Olympic lifting technique session. We're going to program this on top of our normal workouts of the day, and they're totally optional, but we're going to put them up for Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I'm going to shoot a video much like this, kind of outlining the drills for what to do. This is going to be for anyone who wants to work on their Olympic weightlifting technique, maybe while at home. And all you really need to do the vast majority of this and to get a good benefit is a piece of PVC or even like a broom handle. There is some optional stuff to be done at the end if you have access to a barbell or some weights where you can work some actual load there. But for this technique stuff, we're going to be spending a lot of time on position and just building some volume of good repetitions so that when we do come back in the gym, hopefully within the next few weeks, months here, whenever that is, you've been really drilling the technique of the snatch and the clean and potentially even the jerk, depending on the interest here. So you haven't lost like any of the signal for your body. And then when it comes time to putting the weight back on, it should be a relatively quick process. So, Butters and I were talking about this the other day. Most, if not every, Olympic weightlifting workshop that we've been to either starts with or spends the entire time, like we're talking an entire weekend, with just PVC. So if you drill these moves, you do the full volume, do all the sets, and you approach it with the same level of focus and intensity that you might do with a barbell for some technique, you are going to take a ton away from this. It'll also be a very challenging workout. We're going to go through what this looks like. I'm going to demonstrate all the movements. You can do this at any time. It can be, in a substitute for the workout during the week at some point. It can be in combination with, you can do it before or after the workout of the day, or you can just do it as another part of your day. I know some people are able to stay at home and work remotely, so potential ideas to take some of the time you might have otherwise been spending commuting to and from work and dedicate that to a little bit of additional focus on something like this, Olympic weightlifting. So I think in a perfect world, you do something like this technique day, maybe in the morning, and then have the workout of the day in the evening, or vice versa. But if you get two different sessions in, your body's going to thank you for it, and you're going to notice a lot of return on that time. So without any further ado, let's talk about what we have. So we basically have 4 sections for the technique for Tuesday, all of which can be done with PVC, should be done with PVC. So the first one, we're going to go 3 cycles through. You're going to get 10 face-down lift-offs, followed by 10 squatting thoracic rotations. Some of these will be familiar. Others, you're going to have to watch the video here, and we'll check it out. So after you get 3 rounds of that, we're going to do 10 Snatch Shrugs and 10 Snatch Press to an overhead squat, 3 rounds of that. And then the final kind of technique element is going to be 10 Snatch Balances, followed by 10 Sots Presses, 3 cycles through. And once you've done all of that, I want you to spend as much time as needed to get 50 quality squat snatches. Like I said, all done with PVC. None of this is for time. When you get to the 50 squat snatches, better to break this up maybe into 10 sets of 5 or something similar to that, and really, really nail the quality. Ideally, you would not count the reps if you miss them or you kind of land in a less than ideal position. So really be diligent on how the quality looks there, and potentially even film yourself. This is a great opportunity to do something similar that you might see in our technique classes, at the facility here, where you shoot the video and you can either give yourself feedback or post it up on Facebook or Instagram, or send us an email or smoke signal or write a snail mail or any number of things. Send it to us, and we'll give you some feedback on what you could do next time. And we'll do this a couple times a week, and hopefully it helps. If you do have access to a barbell, once you've made it through all this, you're going to be really warm and ready to rock. Start loading up with something light. Each week we can build on this, so no need to fully max it out. But just like you would see on a Saturday class, we're going to go every 90 seconds. 1 snatch shrug coming from the shins, 1 power snatch coming from the shins, and then 1 overhead squat. Just every 90 seconds for 10 rounds. Log your weights. The idea would be you build on that each week. Questions? Nope. Okay. So if you hadn't already seen the warm-up that we did For the group class on Zoom, I'm going to do something similar. You can follow along. It'll take us maybe 10 minutes just to kind of get the body warm and limber, and then we'll go through each of these drills in a little bit more detail with some PVC. So you can put some maybe light music on in the background, or just enjoy some silence as we get the body moving. So, just starting with some neck rolls. Basically going to work from the head down to the ankles, toes, just getting things moving. If it's the first time you've been moving today or you're coming off the desk, just a nice way to ease into things. Switch directions. We're going to roll the shoulders. So just try to elevate the shoulders as high as you can. Down, back, up, forward, down, back. Switch directions. Okay, so got two arms. One arm is going to be starting forward. One arm is going to be going back. We're just going to trace two big circles. So when your arms are up overhead, they should be even. When they go by your sides, they should be even. Go ahead and embrace the rotation of your torso and just take your time. If you're really finding the coordination here challenging, do one circle back, one circle forward. Just back and forth as you go. I'm going to time out here on the screen. Let's get caffeine going. Nice. So keep it going. So we got forward and back. Ideally, work towards making this a coordinated effort, but it doesn't have to be anything too involved just yet. Let's get one more, and then we will switch directions. Let's take the hands here. We're just going to make some kind of waving motion. Some people refer to this as petting the cat. You can start the bent arm, move to a straight arm, with just taking the wrists up as far as you can, down, make a fist, and repeat. Try and make it nice and smooth. Other direction, scoop it under. As you pull back the hands, think about making a full fist, go down, and then scoop it again. If you have a piece of PVC, you may want to use this as balance here, so go ahead and use it for support on the same leg that you're going to be swinging. We're just going to get some forward and back swings. Make sure you're not going to kick over anything valuable or anyone valuable nearby. We're just going to swing forward and back about 10 times. Go to the other side, forward and back. You'll notice my opposite arm just kind of naturally wants to swing along with it. This is a cross-body coordination, not mandatory, but you'll probably get better balance if you let those two start to swing together, much like you would do when you were running. Okay? We're going to hold it out in front, and we're just going to go side to side. back and forth. Same thing, the arm helps a lot for balance here. Kind of fun looking in the screen to see how high you're going. Once again, make sure there's nothing nearby that you're going to kick over. Again. Woo! Go ahead and put that down. We're just going to drop down into a squat. Let's get down here and bounce. This should be a pretty familiar position by now. We're well into the squat challenge. I think we'll be wrapping up, if not the beginning or the end of this week, then the beginning of next week. But for now, we're just bouncing. If you can touch the ground, do that. If you need to grab your feet or your ankles, do that. But we're going to go from this squatting position to legs as straight as they can get. Down and back up. Like I said, you can grab your ankles instead, put your feet on the floor. We're just going to go back and forth between a squat and a standing, from the side all the way down, hips way up in the air, back. So from the side here, I'll show you a couple. We're going to do some good mornings. So think about pulling your shoulders back. We're just going to hinge as far as you can keep a good arch in your back and straight legs here, and then come back up. Hinge, back up. What the? Thought caffeine was on. Where were we? Back to the hinges. Go ahead and stop on your 10th rep. We're going to hold it for 10 seconds. Then from here, we're going to round and arch. Round and arch. On your next round, just kind of droop down and relax. Like I said, if you couldn't touch the floor before, maybe you're a little bit closer, but just get to whatever position feels just kind of like passive for you and hang out. Whew. So hopefully we're starting to warm up. Okay, let's go through some drills. So, I'll lower the camera down here a little bit. Face down lift-offs. What this looks like is you're going to get into a face down position, almost like a Superman with your arms up overhead. And we're going to work on just opening your shoulders a little bit, kind of at the end range of motion. When we snatch, having some shoulder flexibility or additional mobility is going to help a ton. So this is going to be surprisingly challenging. Not going to move a whole lot initially, but don't be discouraged. Start small. Make the quality high first rather than range of motion, and it will come for sure. So check this out. You need to set up on the ground. When you do this, start on the wider side first, and then over time, you can kind of narrow things up. But the idea is you'll have your feet together, butt and belly are tight, such that you kind of tuck your butt underneath. We don't want to arch your back in order to make this happen. We want all of the action to happen up top here. And you'll use your forehead on the floor. So, the rubber mat's a little bit hard, but it's doable. If you need a yoga mat or a towel, just put it down. And you're going to get face down. Keep your belly and your butt engaged. Lift off. And back down. When you do the lift off, it's very, very important that the arms stay fully locked out and that we're not arching through the low back. So, like I said, you're going to try and find all these solutions to get the bar off the ground. Really make sure to stay diligent. So, tuck your butt, arms are locked, up, back down, up, back down. We're going to do 10 of those reps. On your last rep of each set, I want you to hold it for 10 seconds. Like I said, it's challenging. Start wide. If you really want to watch your progress happen over time, you can put some marks on the PVC where your hands are now, and then check it out down the road. This is also something way, way down the road where you can consider adding light bits of weight as you start to strengthen what's going on there. But generally pretty weak and tight for a lot of folks, so perfect opportunity to improve that. Next drill in this set is going to be the squatting thoracic rotations. We do these in the class, and we'll just review it now. If you need, you can prop your heels up if you find that the flexibility is the challenging part here. But the idea is you'll do all 10 reps on one side and then all 10 reps on the other. So you're going to rotate inward as far as you can with your elbow, block the opposite knee, and rotate up as far as you can. Ideally, the feet are in contact with the floor. We're just doing the rotations. If initially you need to kind of like prop one heel up to make this happen, you can. But over time, we want to get to the point where we can keep both heels on the floor. So we'll do 10. And then once again, hold it for 10 seconds. And then you would do 10 on the other side. So we'll go 3 times through that. 10 face down liftoffs, 10 thoracic rotations, 3 cycles through. Really good mobility. Like I said, awesome opportunity to take a little bit of additional time on something that maybe we would kind of like rush through a little bit more, as part of a quick warm-up, but great place to make improvement on the snatch. Okay, the second spot, we're going to start doing something that actually looks like a snatch. We are going to grab the PVC. Let me fix this. We're going to do some snatch shrugs. So I'm going to show you kind of like a 3/4 angle here. You're going to take the pipe and find your snatch grip. And just for quick review, since it's been about a month since most of us were in the gym, bar, if you're just standing here, should be sitting right about waist. Let's go ahead and get used to using a hook grip here. So lay your thumb down, middle finger goes over your nail bed, and then just wrap the rest of your fingers over the top. And we're going to get set right down at the shin. So imagine like we have some weight on the bar, and it's just sitting at that height. So take some time to find your position. My back is flat, my arms are straight, and I want you to tense up. So imagine like someone's trying to pull the bar away from you, and your lats under here kind of engage and pull the bar a little bit back into your shin. And we're just going to, under control, come up past your knees, stand upright, and aggressively shrug. Like I said, the quality of the movement is what we're after today. We can get away with just kind of, quick, easy, maybe somewhat sloppy reps, but to get the most out of this, get a full good setup like you're about to get a good snatch lift. Come up past the knees. Real aggressive finish. When we finish, we're looking to be very extended and tall. So like if you had like a pane of glass at the height that you are, say you're 5'10", you should go right through that every single time because you actually extend and end up on maybe the balls of your feet. So one last time, get set, shins up to the knees, aggressive shrug. You're going to do 10 of those. Next drill is a snatch press into an overhead squat. Peter keeps going to sleep. I don't know. Sleeping on the job. So, we have the bar across your shoulders, same grip we had before. This time the feet are going to be closer to shoulder width where you would squat. And all we want to do here is imagine like this bar can't really elevate. We are just going to press ourselves out from underneath it. Then you can break that rule and stand all the way back up with it. So, get everything tight through the belly, tight through the shoulders. You can even think about taking a big breath in. Press and stand all the way up. When you stand up, imagine, like once again, that there's weight on the bar, so your body is getting used to staying very engaged through this pattern. Again, breathe and brace, press as you squat, and stand tall. If you go through the whole breathing and bracing and standing up aggressively, like I said, this is where we start to take away a lot of the benefit. So we'll do 10 of those. So this cycle is 3 of the shrugs, it's 3 rounds, 10 shrugs, 10 snatch press to an overhead squat. Final kind of technical piece before we get into doing the full move will be the Snatch Balance, which is very similar to the press to overhead squat, but it's going to be more dynamic. What I mean by that is we're going to be moving quickly underneath the bar. So instead of a very controlled press from underneath it, we can maybe give it a little bit of a pop, but I want you to drop quickly into an overhead squat and your feet will actually leave the ground. So we'll start a little bit narrower than our squat stance. Get everything tight and braced. We're just going to drop and stick the landing in your overhead squat. Stand back up. Really worth sticking for like a couple of seconds to make sure everything is well balanced and that these are good quality reps. So feet underneath the hips. Everything's tight. And stand. We haven't really talked about it because most of the moves have been very controlled so far, but kind of from here on out, if we miss a rep, or like maybe we fall over, don't count it. Just reset, try and make the adjustment to improve whatever kind of fell apart there, and only count the quality ones. So I'll show you from the side. Feet underneath the hips. Everything's tight. And stand. Great opportunity to work on some speed, some mobility, while the weight is almost non-existent, and really own those positions. So we'll get 10 of those, and on your 10th rep, you can just hang out at the bottom because we're going to do 10 Sots presses. So let's say we just caught our 10th rep. The Sots press is to be in the bottom of the squat, stay upright, and we're just going to lower this bar behind your shoulders and press it back up overhead. Down and up, down and up. Show you from the side. Get everything set. We're going to go down, up, down, up. This will really challenge you to start to own the upright position. It's where the thoracic rotations come into play. It's where squatting mobility is really important. One little hint to help you get the most, if you can take your feet and imagine you're trying to screw them into the ground, so almost setting up a little bit more parallel and screwing them into position, it will allow you to pull yourself into a more active, like upright posture when you're at the bottom of the squat. It's very difficult if you're in a relaxed squat to then try and press when you're down here. So really make sure you're on tension, and that's going to start with the tension, like screwing through the feet up into the hips. So 3 rounds through, 10 of the balances, 10 Sots press. By now, and definitely for me currently, you should be pretty darn warm, pretty mobile, pretty familiar with all these positions. Now it's time to capitalize on all that openness, and we're going to finish with 50 quality squat snatches. So like I said, break this up however you need to, only count the quality ones. But what it'll look like is you'll get set from the shins. You're going to go through the full shrug and drop yourself into a squat snatch and stick the landing. So I'm going to get set, right at the shins, everything's nice and tight. I'm coming up past the knees, up to my thighs, pop, and then stand. Like I said, great opportunity to film yourself. You can ask us for feedback. You can give yourself some critical feedback in the middle of the session. But like sets of 3 to 5 at a time. It's good. Get set. And there goes the computer one last time. Not sure if that keeps filming while I enter the password, but gets the job done. So 50 squat snatches is going to be work. Like I said, this is every bit a workout if you take it seriously, and I think there's a lot to be gained from it. If you get to this point and you have access to a barbell and you're feeling good, go ahead and start maybe a couple of sets with an empty bar, and then start loading it up and go into the every 90 seconds for 10 rounds, 1 snatch shrug, 1 power snatch, and 1 overhead squat. I'll give you a quick demo of that, and then we'll call it good. So let's say we have the empty bar now, or maybe some lightweight. The bar will come from the floor. We're just going to do a 3-move complex. Go for a snatch shrug. Go for a power snatch. Stand up. Hopefully your feet are in a good enough position to then be able to overhead squat. Put the bar down. Go again on the 90-second interval. So that's it. Probably take you a good 30 to 40 minutes, including the warm-up, to get through the PVC stuff, and then you wrap it up with about 15 minutes of barbell if you have it. That's a good day right there. Like I said, give us feedback, shoot us questions, videos, whatever you have. We're here to help out, and hope you enjoy it.